Race number 3, Team Celebration Series. We're doing 1 lap out and back again. The race has just begun. Let's see what's going on. We're following the A's right now. The B's start 1 minute behind. The C's are another minute behind, but they're not doing out and back again. They're doing Tempest Fugit. 2 laps, Tempest Fugit. The D's are also doing 2 laps of Tempest Fugit. It's a long, flat road until the Volcano KOM for out and back again. Following the Volcano KOM, it's then the reverse KOM, and following the reverse KOM, it's a finish in the desert. So this is 1 lap, nothing repeats. It's 1 hour long. It's a brand new course. Not many people have raced it. I raced it this morning. I loved it. I did the Team Celebration Series, the AM race. It was wildly fun because it was unlike anything we'd done on Zwift before. It was 1 lap only and it lasted an hour, and it was just a phenomenal time. So right now, we're on Casey Shum. We'll give him a thumbs up. Again, this is a team race. We're following the teams in the series. The overall team leader is Kirkmeyer Cycling, and they're wearing this Bumblebee kit, this yellow and black striped kit, and you can see about 4 or 5 of them right now. Again, this is a long flat stretch before the Volcano KOM. I wouldn't expect any attacks until the Volcano because everyone knows there's 2 brutal climbs coming. The Volcano KOM, which will last 6 minutes, and then the reverse regular KOM, which will last about 3 minutes. So from now until the start of that Volcano KOM, we'll try to click around. We'll follow a bunch of different groups, the A's, the B's, the C's, and the D's. Like I said, the C's and the D's are doing something a little different because it will probably take them too long in the time frame that they probably need to finish. So right now, here are the A's. The A race, again, is between Kirkmeyer, Cryogen, TFC, and Draft. So when I was doing the pre-race, those were the teams that had the numbers, and those are the teams currently leading in the standings. Let's click back. So the B's just started. I'm just checking. The B's just started. There are 58 starters, which is a lot. In the B's, there's Fudre, Dirt, Kirkmeyer, Revo, Cryogen, and Tuga, the Portuguese national team. I expect a lot of names in this ride. Let's click back. Okay, 45 riders still in this pack. Like I said earlier, it's going to be flat. It's going to be about conserving until that Volcano KOM. Right now, we're looking at the names on the right. You can see a ton of Cryogen riders. I see Dirt, I see Revo, TFC, all the previous names I mentioned earlier. Bowen, this is a name from last week I remember talking about a lot. I think I saw Andrew Robinson from TFC. Yes, he was live with us last week. There's Andrew. I see Ervik is a Dirt, and I think I saw 2 more. So there's definitely 3 Dirts, there's definitely 3 Fudres, and there's definitely at least 3 Cryogens. So this is going to be quite the team battle for the Bs. Like I said, I'm going to click around a little bit for the early part of the race, just while everyone gets settled and the flats get underway. Let's move on back to the C's, see if we can catch some C's. Now the C's is interesting because overall in the team standings, your top 3 riders are going to score. So it doesn't matter if it's 3 A's, 3 B's, 3 C's, or 3 D's. Each category can compete with other categories. And right now the winning category is Cryogen C, and they're winning this entire Team Celebration Series overall. So this is Cryogen. The C team is who we're checking out. Again, they're doing 2 laps of Tempest Fugit. Last week it was everyone versus Deadpool. So it was Cryogen versus TFC, and I hope we have a great showing like that again. I see a ton of TFC. You can see them by this yellow jersey. TFC, I only see 3 Cryogen. Maybe they went out very fast because I only see Cryogen has that blue and white. I see a 4th peeking in the screen right now, so I'm thinking 4 Cryogen, and you can see behind a lot of Cryogen looks like didn't make it right off the line, which is rare because everyone knows off the line is the most important thing. So this is shocking. Almost half of the C race is gone from the line. Wow. So I want to click back for the D's. Quickly, let's see if we can get the D's. Okay, we got some D's. I love watching the D's because a lot of times these are beginners. These are the first time racers, and we all started here. We all started as Bs, and we slowly moved up together. So, you know, shouting out a D can sometimes make their ride and make their experience so much greater. So I have a few names I want to shout out. I want to shout out Barton because I know he's brand new to Zwift, brand new to the dirt team, absolutely addicted to Zwift. We're happy to have him. Another man I'm looking out for is Jamie Stevens, who I saw. There he is, Cryogen. So Jamie Stevens along with Butters right here, and also Lee. So this is their first time riding together, and I promised I'd give them a shout out. So I want to give a huge shout out to Lee, Butters, and Stevens because this is their first race racing together. It's super exciting. You can see a little D-Pack, which is great. They're pushing about 2.5, almost 3 watts per kilogram. All their FTPs are 2.5 or lower. So it's awesome to see these guys out there. That's what it's all about in the Team Celebration Series, and it's so rare to get 3 Ds racing together that they can score even more points than some of the A teams and some of the B teams. So we'll come back, we'll revisit those 3, we'll revisit the Ds. Let's click back up to the Cs. Again, I'm surprised that there's so many Cs. Only 26 out of the 53, so almost half of the Cs are gone within 5 minutes of the race. It's gone, and this is a completely flat course. This isn't out and back again. This is Tempest Fusion. So half of the Cs are gone. This is just fascinating to see, and there's still TFC and there's still Cryogen. There must be some sort of team tactics going. It looks like Edwards is on the front pushing 4.0. I wonder if just people are just attacking because TFC and Cryogen have the numbers. So if I were them, I would just keep sending new guys, but they need more than one to actually stick. It doesn't look like anyone's falling forward and chasing him. Let's give him a ride on. Here's Mike on the front, KRT. I only see one KRT rider, so I don't think there'll be anything to deal with in the point series, but overall, an absolute force. So those are the C's, only 26, 27 left, half of it's gone. We'll come back to that. Let's click up to the B's. Okay, we're moving back up. It's going to be a little bit tricky to catch the C's and the D's because after the desert, the A's and the B's are going to go left, and the C's and the D's are going to go right and continue. So once they get to the end of the desert, the C's and the D's are going to kind of make a U-turn and come back, and then another U-turn and then go back, and then another U-turn and then go back. So they're going to do 2 laps, so they're going to go out and back, out and back. That's the C's and the D's. Now the A's and the B's, however, they're going to go all throughout Watopia. They're not riding the same road twice ever. Just when you think you know which way you're going to go, you'll probably go the opposite way. That's why it's so exciting. You're going to the Volcano KOM, then you're going to the reverse KOM, but instead of going down the Ocean Boulevard to the finish line, you then take a right through the desert, and it's still another 3 miles until the finish. It's longer than you think, but the places to attack are right where you think they are. It's the volcano. There's a couple little bumps after the sprint banner. There's that hill. I just saw a couple names that I want to check out. Ervik, when I was looking at Zwift Power for some of the early favorites, New Heights I think was the second most Zwift Power points in the B rankings, but the hands down favorite was Worthington, I believe. So let me click back and see if I can find his name. Okay, here's Robinson, like I said from last week. Sharky. Okay, Mark Worthington, yes. So he's in here. He has the most points of any B racer almost. He's one of the top 5 B racers, so he's going to be the guy to look out for in the Bs. Here he is, Worthington. And I think last week Alex Clare won the B race. I think his sprint is 14 plus. So between Alex Clare, Worthington, New Heights, some of these other names, it's going to be a very, very fast race. And I think it's going to be pretty dynamic through the hills and through the flats. All right, let's click back up to the A's. All right, here are the A's. Still fairly quiet. 33, 35 left. 30. Let's just assume everyone is still here. Right now we're clicked on Rasmussen, a Vision rider. I'm looking at their numbers. Heart rate 129. That is low. That's low. So here's Naher, KC. So KC, when you see their initials on the right side, that's Kirk Mayer Cycling. They have a bunch of guys in this ride. Stefan is here. I think Stefan is one of the top guys. Casey Shum doesn't need an introduction. One of the longest standing Zwift racers out there. Sanjath, another name. So again, I did a lot of research for this ride. So Sandra has that sprint of 1500 watts. So I think it's rare that you see me speechless. You saw me speechless last week with Scotty Weiss, and I think 1500 watts over 15 seconds is going to get me another speechless moment, because that's some power right there. So let's move up. I wonder what these front numbers are looking at. 3.9, 3.7. It's not terrible because all of these guys have that FTP of 4.0 or above. So everyone is actually below their FTP. 134 heart rate. Let's just kind of graze over some of these heart rates. 138, 143, 132. So everyone's in this zone 1, zone 2 heart rate area. And that's expected though. It's expected because it's a long time until the volcano. It's a couple up and downs. You know, outside of the underwater tunnel, there's a little hill. After the sprint banner is a little hill. But besides that, there's not really too many options to break away. So let's keep watching out. Let's click back to the bees maybe. Let's see what's going on with the bees. Like I said, not too much. Still looks like the whole bee pack is still here. Close to 50 ride. Oh, just right there. So 44, 45. That's basically everyone off the line. A couple didn't make it, but generally here you're also going to see heart rates low. 124, that's super low. Worthington 137, 141. So again, that's kind of the theme right now, is a warm-up. So even though this isn't technically a warm-up, it's an hour race, so it's a long race in relation to the rest of the Zwift races. And it's going to take a lot out of you, because you're going to need to give everything you have on this volcano, and then you're going to need to give everything you have on the reverse KOM. So let's take a look back. I want to show you guys a couple things so we can vote on this, but I have a new layout for this ride. Let me show you right now. Whoa! Brightened it up a little bit. So let me know if you guys like that. I'm checking out the comments on the Facebook page and whatnot. So this is a brand new. It lightens it up a little bit, adds a little spice to the dynamic. So if you like the OG one, just let me know, or if you like the new one, let me know. I think this one freshens it up a little bit. There's no background. We can watch the game in the big screen version, and I think it just kind of snazzes it up. We have Team Celebration Series below me over here, and we also have the indoor specialist and our dirt mustache man. So maybe I'll keep this one for a little bit. I'll switch back and forth. But when I was changing from the old one to this one, I realized I was wearing a green shirt, so I had to borrow someone else's shirt. So this is someone else's shirt because the green made me look invisible. All right, so we're back to the A. That was a little incline. Nothing too crazy. I don't see any red numbers. Some 3s, some 5s, some 6s, but didn't catch anyone off guard. Gakes is on the back, and I don't believe he's going to get dropped, so looks pretty solid. All 36 riders are still together, still well in the draft. That was the first little test, just a little test, nothing much. Right now they're going to go back into the tunnel under the water, and then they're going to come out and be at Watopia and head towards the Volcano KOM. So the route they're going to take to get there is they're going to act like they're going to go to the finish line. So they're going to go through the S's, past the sprint banner, but instead of going right at the 1K finish banner, they're going to go left into the volcano. So once they get there, they'll go straight up to the KOM. All right, so everyone is still together. Let's click back. A couple names I see: Dempster, Draft Rider. Just looking at their uniforms. Another Cryogen. Seems like Cryogen is really putting out the numbers for these rides, which is great to see. Jolliffe, Cryogen. I'm giving these guys all ride-ons because, you know, giving some loves. DeBont. P. Henderson. I think he's the second 3R racer I saw, because I remember saying Gakes, who is also 3R. I wonder if there's a fourth 3R rider. Oh, I do. I saw race WBR, but I didn't click it quite fast enough. Yeah, okay. So that's another team here. So 3 WBR. So now we have WBR, we have TFC, Cryogen, Kirk Mayer. I saw 2 drafts, Gajda and Gavin Dempster. I wonder if there's a 3rd draft hidden in here somewhere. That would be awesome to see. So there's a lot of teams out here. It's going to be interesting because riding for your 3rd rider versus riding to win the race is a completely different ride. So if you're riding for your 3rd rider, you know, you can't give it everything. You have to stay with them to make sure they're getting the highest placing as you can. Whereas if you're riding yourself, you can sort of take these risks and do what you need to do to get your highest placing that you can. All right, here's a name Souza I see. I remember the Portuguese team. They have 2 great A riders. However, they don't have a 3rd. So I think the B's and the C's have been rotating in the A category every few races. So I wonder if I click back to the A's, if we see any Portuguese riders. We'll probably see them off the back, but I think that's just awesome to see, is that, you know, these guys are taking rotations at the front, even though they might not necessarily have that FTP above 4. All right, let's check out Murgalas, another name from last week. All these Kirk Mayer riders are super strong. I expect them all to stay with it. Oh, okay, so here's Jorge. So Jorge Caldera must be that 3rd Portuguese rider that I was talking about. So they have 2 great A riders, but they need a 3rd to enter the A category. So it must have been Jorge's turn to draw the short straw. So that's just great to see. Okay, so we clicked the B's. There was that little incline. Let's click back. It doesn't look like any B's got caught. There's still a ton of riders in here, well over 40. I think the last count was 44. So they probably maybe lost 1, but they're just about together. Revo, I saw Revo had some numbers. I wonder if they hit that 3 threshold, because like I said, your top 3 score. Beyond 3, you can sort of begin boxing out other riders in other teams, but 3 is really the magic number. And if you look at the jerseys, a lot of the teams wear the same jerseys, so you can determine who's on what team by the color of their jerseys. Up at the front, oh, we just clicked the back of the A's. So up at the front, I'm just browsing heart rates quickly. 168, 165, 169. So I think these guys just had a little acceleration through this part, and now they're trying to come back again. I think we lost the C's because at that little uphill, the C's and the D's did a little turnaround, where, like I said, the A's and the B's kind of continued through. So I think that's the last chance we're going to see of the C's without risking losing this entire race. I'm going to click back to C. Yeah, I don't see any C's or D's on here, so I don't want to lose this entire race. Oh, I see a Sakari guy. Okay, awesome. Well, let's give him a ride on. That's, I think, a local team in the United States. Let's keep clicking. Let's get back to the A's. I think the A's just got out of the incline, but all of them still look tight. You can tell how fast or slow the group is going by the width of the riders. So it's the same outdoors as it is indoors. So right now they're not going super hard. It's not strung out. It's relatively dense. It's not single file. Like I said, they're still biding their time until this Volcano KOM, but it's coming. It's coming. No doubt about that. They're 9.5 miles in. I would guess they're about 10 minutes to the Volcano KOM. And the Volcano is an interesting climb, so it's not really your typical just straight climb. It's steep in the beginning and the end. The middle is kind of flat, so if you can stay in the group in the beginning, you can catch a draft through the inside of the volcano and sort of take a breath. So if you're not one of the strongest riders, it's one of the better climbs. It gives you the better chance to stay with the pack in this climb, because like I said, that middle portion, you can get a rest, you can sort of get off the pedals if you can tactically stay in the draft. Okay, so that's the Volcano KOM, but there's also the reverse KOM, and the reverse KOM is similar because it gets very, very steep. The steepest part is in the beginning. So if you can stay with the pack in the steepest part and stay in the pack, you can then lay off the watts a little bit because you're in the draft and it flattens out significantly. Just a little strategy. Even though these are tough climbs, you can still kind of break down these climbs even further, you know, the higher level these riders are. So all these riders, the A's and the B's, they're thinking about this higher level tactics than just a 7-minute climb. Because if it's just a 7-minute climb, that's no way to attack a climb. That's no way to attack a 7-minute stretch. You have to kind of dissect each portion of this climb beyond just an incline. Just clicking around, it looks like these riders are still around 3.5. The heart rates are slightly elevated, 152, 153. We were seeing 140s and below earlier, but nothing in those 60s and 70s still. I see Cryogen right now on the front, but nothing above 4, nothing above 5 really. Here's Pollock, TFC. 300 watts, relatively stable. They're going to make this left turn. This is another little incline point. I wonder if anyone's going to do anything slightly, if any team's going to come out with some team dynamics. A lot of these times, these teams are on Discord talking to each other. Like I said, I did this ride earlier, so I kind of know the course and what to expect. It just came out. This is a brand new course. It's unlike anything we have in Zwift. We do everything one time for 1 hour. It's rare that we have 1 hour courses. So here they go. I saw Tom Gakes with a little red number, but that was from the back. Nothing too extreme in the front. Let's give Heinzelman a ride on. Almost Fast, another ride on. I saw a lot of these names earlier, but still not too much. Heart rates are still in the range. Everyone's right around 300 watts. They're going downhill to the sprint banner. I want to stay on these A's because after the sprint banner is another little, probably 9% incline for 30 seconds. Normally in a regular, Watopia flat race, that's a spot to make a move, but in this sort of race, I don't think anything too crazy is going to happen. Yeah, so I'm checking the comments. I have a Facebook open right next to me on my screen. I also have Zwift Power open, so I'm kind of checking all these riders, power and everything as we go along. Souza. Okay, so they're just about to start the sprint section, or they're in the sprint section. Okay, so right at the sprint banner, there's no power up, so there's nothing to worry about. Everyone's gonna get the XP. But right beyond that is the bridge, and then it's the little uphill I was talking about. Let's stay on these riders during the uphill. We're 23 minutes into this 55-minute race. It's a battle between 5 teams. But Kirkmeyer is by far the favorite team leading this A category for the Team Celebration Series, the European session. All right, so here we go. Right turn, little uphill. I don't expect anything, keeping my expectations subdued. Let's see what happens. Here's Pollock on the front. Anyone with red, I want to click them right off. Casey Shum is on the front, 8.3, 600 watts. Nothing terrible. I don't see double digits quite yet. Let's check his rear view. Nothing too bad. Maybe a 5-meter gap behind him, but it's just him, so nothing super is going to happen. Okay, it's just Casey. No one's really falling for it. Here's Gavin Berry. I wonder if Gavin's going to go for it. No, Casey let off the gas, I think, right away. So he's back down to 200 watts, 2.8. The group's going to come back together. There might be a couple red dots off the back. Sommerfeld, let's give him a ride on. Is he going to make it? I don't know. Ooh, it's so hard. So this is that no man's land when you're just a little out of that 5 meter and the whole pack is kind of getting away from you. He's got to stomp about 7 or 8 watts per kilogram right now. And there he goes. I think he just latched on, so good for him. Here's Casey taking a breath at the back. This is the S's. Instead of going right down to the Ocean Boulevard, they're going to go left to the volcano. And they're not going in the volcano. They're not going through it. They're just going straight up, which is kind of a relief after you just did this. Again, not too much at the front. Let's click back to the B's quickly before the A's start the KOM, and then we'll be on the A's. But right now, the B's still looks like maybe there might have been a little split. Okay, there's a big bunch 6 seconds back from the B's. Looks like a couple Cryogen, a Foudre were caught. 23 left. I think there was 44. So this might be a significant split right here. Let's look at the colors. I do see 3 Kirkmeyer jerseys. I see 2 dirts. 4 cryogen, and only 1 TFC. So this is interesting. All the big names are still here. Like I said earlier, Alex Clare. Oh, our man Andrew Robinson has fallen off the back. He was here live last week or 2 weeks ago. We're rooting for Andrew to get back. Any other big team names? I don't see. It looks like a couple cryogen and TFCs. I don't know. I think Andrew's going to give it everything to get back on the wheel right now. Here's a EF. We'll give him a ride on. But back to the front pack. There's 23 was our last count. But all the favorites are still there. The Worthington, Clare, and New Heights. I think those were the 3 favorites according to Zwift Power. All right, and you can see in the top right this mini map of green dots. You can see there's small gaps in between each group of these dots, and sometimes those gaps can be the entire race. So if you lose it here, the groups gain so much speed that they could be gone. So let's click back up to the all right, so we're at the Seas and Tempest Fugit, but I want to get back to some of the okay. So we're back. No panicking. That's what I learned. If you make a misclick, I can't panic because, you know, right when you think the race is gone, it's still there. It's still there. So, okay, we're back at the A's. They're going through the volcano, but not that uphill from the reverse counterclockwise volcano. They're just going through it, and then they're going to stay left straight to the incline, straight to the KOM. 33, 34 left. It's been that number since the line. The couple accelerations, they were all predictable. No moves out of the ordinary. Let's see who's going to do it. Let's see who's the best climber. I saw Stefan here. I want to check Zwift Power. There's Stefan. So let's stay on him because I know he'll be at the front. I'm looking at some other riders with their bests. Casey Shum is a 5+ guy. Last name Porter is a 5+ guy. Stefan is a 5.8. So it looks like Stefan is far and away above the rest of the field in regards to FTP. But we're watching everyone. And like I said earlier, in a normal race, he would be the guy to watch because he has the highest FTP, but it's about your third guy. So I'm sure he'll be shepherding his third guy, and he might even be acting like a domestique during this KOM. So here we go. If you look on the right side, you can see that little red hash mark. That's the beginning. And starting now, it'll be a little under 6 minutes. I expect these guys to average 5.5 to 6. Those were the numbers for the earlier session of the race. And here we go. So let's see if anyone's going to get caught off the back. It's a little uphill, then it's a decline. So you can catch a break. And here we go, back up 5%. We're watching the cryogen riders. Let's look at the front. No red numbers. Everyone's fairly controlled. I wonder what's going on. Okay, here's Stefan. I saw a red number from Stefan. Viana, Portuguese team. Hall at the front at 6.1. Let me take a sip. Check this out. Yeah, that was a Brass Knuckles cup. Yep, that was my birthday gift from a few years ago. Okay, so there's Stefan. There's Gajda from Draft. I see the 2 draft guys on the front. That's pretty cool. Oh, wow, look at all those Kirkmeyer guys. They're all together, bunched at the front. Bad positioning is everything, so everyone's going to want to be towards the front, but not on the front. Let's look back. I see a few gaps. 2 seconds back is Henderson. 3 seconds back, I think this is going to be... Henderson's going to fall off. Blom, Rasmussen. So let's move forward. One by one, the pace is getting too hard, little by little. Here we go. The numbers, the heart rates are creeping up. 164, 159, 185 for Joker. Here's Porter. I think he was the name that I said had that FTP of above 5. So there's Porter, not affiliated with a team. And this is the Volcano. It's up and then it's flat a little bit. So if you're smart, you can kind of lay off the pedals right here. And here you go. Here's Pollock at 0.4. And here we go. Back up again. back up to 4.5. So I like this kind of tactical racing. I like this strategy, because if you're not as strong as some of these guys and you don't have that FTP, you need to kind of feather your power, and you can't just go all out all the time. Okay, so we're back at the front. Here's Stefan, 7.2. We see him a lot pushing out these watts. Here's another downhill, another slight chance to catch a break, -3%, -5%. Let's see these watts come down, down, down. And then again, we're going back up. So continue the momentum, start pedaling before the incline comes. It's just like outdoors. And here's that flat section I was talking about. So that was the first steep section. This is the flat. So if you're smart, you can get in the back. You can kind of bring your watts per kilogram down in regards to the front of the pack, and you can kind of catch a breath. So here's just looking at some of the names that I'm used to. Here's 3.3 from Gajda, Dempster 3.2. So if these guys are averaging 5.5 up the climb, this is a real recovery for them. 3.1 from Sanjath. Okay, they're coming out of the volcano, and here's round 2 of the uphill. So this is where it's going to stay at about 5% with a couple of those areas for recovery, and then the final kick is going to be 10+%. It's going to be absolutely brutal. Let's check it out. Here's Gavin Berry on the front. Cryogen on the front. Team Poland. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. Quichuenos. How many are left? Let's do a count. 26 left. 26. The 2 3R riders are on the back. I think they're going to be able to make it. There's an attack off the front. Let's move up. It's Gavin Dempster. No, it's Casey Shum. Casey Shum's on the front, putting out 8.0, 550 watts. On him is Gavin Dempster and Stefan. Viana and a couple other names are there, but the gaps are coming and the seconds are increasing. There's 2 seconds up to Stefan, to that group of 3. So there's 3 right now up at the front. I wonder if Porter's going to pull back this entire group, because Porter has that FTP to do that. So here's Porter. It's not quite the end of this climb. It's still going to go. It's a little longer than you think. The end is the hardest part. Here they go, a little downhill. Here comes Stefan Watts. You saw 150 watts, and they're going to go up quickly again, 400 watts. So he's riding tactically right now. He's holding wheels. I think his job is to cover moves right now and not let anything go. You can tell he's not on the front. He's just holding wheels and following anyone's attacks. I think he's looking out for Murgalas and Naher and also Sanjath. So the 3 Kirkmeyer are in the top 7, and I think Gakes is going to fill that little gap right here. So the 3 Kirkmeyer guys are going to be able to work together, because after Matt Johnson, there's a significant 2-second gap. Okay, here they go. 9 riders on the front right now. Matt Johnson, let's give him a ride on. Give him that extra boost right now to get that draft. I think he's right in that zone. 167, 500 watts. The heart rates are getting up there. Here's Casey, 180 heart rate. It's getting high. We're almost at that final kick. It's going to be 10%. If you can continue past the KOM barge, that's where you're really going to break some spirits and make moves stick. Right now, 7 of them. Here's Sanjath. He's right in that second pack, and I know these Kirkmeyer guys are telling each other, slow it down for Sanjath. Don't slow it down too much so the rest of the field catches up, but Sanjath is the guy that could win this whole thing with his sprint. So hold it right here for them. But Casey knows that too, so he's playing a little game theory right now. Casey's going, still pushing the pace. 500 watts up to the steepest part. You can see it on the top right, increasing 10%. Absolutely pounding at 600 watts. Gavin Dempster, everyone's in the red numbers. This pack of 8. Are they going to stop right at this KOM banner? Or are they going to continue forward? Let's watch Dempster. Let's watch Casey Shum. Here's Stefan. They're still holding 7. Here's Murgalas, still at 600 watts. They crossed the KOM. It's flattened out already, but he's still on the watts. And this is what I was talking about. This is what breaks spirits. Just when you think you're going to be able to recover, you can't. And I see one person that's getting caught, and it might be Barry, because I think Barry let off right at that banner, but it was Murgalas and it was this Kirkmeyer guys that just stayed on it. So Barry's giving it 500, 7.0 just to get back on, and he's absolutely dying. All right, so we have a group of 9 leading the A's. Let's see if we can find the Bs, because they're going to go downhill right now. Okay, so here are the Bs. This is the front of the Bs. We're watching third place Bowen. Here's Sharky. And oh, we have New Heights is 10 seconds, 11 seconds up. So New Heights has, look at his RPMs, 120 RPMs. That is just absolutely spinning up this hill. I'm sure he's sitting, I'm sure he's just spinning. That is some high RPMs. So if I am communicating with New Heights, I'm telling his teammate Sharky to just get off the front, because Sharky is single-handedly pulling this group back to his own teammate, and it's just the two of them in this entire B race. So if you're watching and you're thinking about strategy, this is not the way to ride strategically. This is the inverse of strategy. Mark Worthington's still there. There are how many Bs? There's a lot of Bs. Wow, we're still going back. Okay, so there's just about 20 Bs, give or take, with one B 10 seconds up. But what's going to happen, because his own teammate is pulling 20 Bs up this KOM? I mean, this whole field is in for a free ride. This is 18 seconds. This gap is just growing. He's holding 5+ and just spinning at this obscene RPMs. I've almost never seen this before. This is awesome to see. So there are two riders right now. There's a Foudre rider and Bowen, which we know him from last week. They're almost at the top. I want to stay on them to the top, because if New Heights, this is a significant lead. If he can stay away, he can almost solo TT this away. Wood from Cryogen. I still see 3 Kirkmeyer. I still believe there are 3 Cryogen. So team-wise, it's still a team race. But this is awesome. And it's rare that you see this in the Bs, the Cs, and the Ds, because everyone's FTP is so close together that you don't normally see breakaways stick. But this one might work. All right, so here they are in the steepest part. They're at 10%. It looks like it's still going to remain at about 20. Otto is going to be, I don't know if Otto's going to make it. So maybe still call it 20. Here's Alex Clare with that sprint speed. Everyone's just sticking together. Okay, and here's New Heights with a 27 second, and he's holding 5.0. I don't know what's going to happen, because this is exciting. He's about 30 seconds up on this pack, but I think he's so light that the group might kind of catch him. But this is super exciting. So we're going to check back on that. Let's look at this front A pack right now. Let's click up. There are... Okay, so there are 9 or 10. Let's count. 3, 6, 9. So there are 9 A's in this front pack. Oh no, there's 10. Okay, there's 10, but 3 of them are Kirkmeyer. So the top 10, 3 are Kirkmeyer cycling, which is, I mean, it's awesome. This team is controlling this race, and it looks like nothing is phasing them right now. Let's see what the chasers are going to do. Let's click back to see how many chasers. That's the hard part. There's only a chase pack of 4. So there's a chase pack of 4 chasing down a lead group of 10. Let's move to this chase pack. And this chase pack is another chase pack of 10. So it's 10 and 4 trying to catch a front pack of 10. So I'm going to bet my money that this front pack is not going to be caught. This group of 10, if they can stay on the gas and they can hold this pace, this is the winning pack right here. So right now there's 8 of them. Looks like everyone's catching a second of recovery. Heart rates are coming down. Look at these numbers. 130 for Gavin Dempster, Barry 135, Johnson 146, Casey Shum 138. So the next move is going to be made on the reverse KOM. They're going to go through this Italian village straight to the reverse KOM. Another 4 to 5 minutes of recovery for these guys. I expect all of them to stay together. Porter's getting caught, but it looks like he'll be okay. I expect them to stay together, and I expect them to work just enough to stay away. So here's Tom Gakes. He's in the front pack. He's telling everyone to work together, and I think everyone will respond, especially Kirkmeyer Cycling, because they have the 3 unlike any other team. All right, so while they're doing their thing, let's see if we can find the bees doing their thing. The bees are going to be tough because they're going downhill and they're going to be all spread out. I'm just clicking about right now. If I can find, I think Otto was just off of the front pack. I'm looking at their distance to see if I can find. This is the chase back of the A's. So I'm clicking around. I was going to try to catch those bees, but we'll catch them before the reverse KOM. A little attack right here by Matt Johnson at 6.0. This is a good time because no one's expecting it. Everyone's kind of gassed from that Volcano. He's putting out 500 watts. He's working 6.5 watts per kilogram. He's got a 2-second gap on Porter. He's stringing out the pack significantly. Dempster, but nothing too much. Just burning more and more matches till at some point someone's going to crack. So even if that wasn't the move to drop someone, it was a move to just eat away a little bit more and more at everyone's spirits and everyone's legs. All right, let's click up ahead. Again, we're doing Team Celebration Series. This is race 3. The first race was TikTok, the second race was Innsbruck Ring, and the third race is this Out and Back Again. This is a brand new course. If you're just tuning in, this is the European PM version of the Team Celebration Series. It's a team race. Your top 3 per category score. So you're racing within your category, but you're also racing across all other categories. So Kirkmeyer Cycling has 3 in the top 10. However, the Cryogen C's have a lead on this Kirkmeyer A team. So you're competing with your A's, but you're also competing against your other category top 3. So right now, 3 Kirkmeyer are in this top 10, but 3 Cryogen could be in the top 5 of their C category. That's what makes this fun, is that you're competing against everyone. Your FTP could be 8,000 and someone else's FTP could be 0.1, and it's all equalized because it's a team race. You have to show up with your best 3 riders. Beyond your 3, you can start thinking of boxing out other people, but your top 3 will score. Here they are. They're going uphill through this Italian village. It's like a 3-tier uphill, and then they're going straight to the reverse KOM. Right now, we're at 10 leading A's. They've dropped the rest of the field, but this pack of 3 is catching them. Tuga, the Portuguese team, Jolief Cryogen, and Van Schaik from, I think that's the Netherlands. So these 3 riders are making up time on the rest of the pack. Let me take some brass knuckles. All right, they're just about to start the reverse KOM, but before they do that, let's see what the heck is going on with New Heights, because this man had a 30-second gap on an entire race. All right, I don't see any green dots. Okay, so here's New Heights. I was looking for this one name because he had a 30-second gap at the top of the KOM, which was completely unnecessary. His own teammate was pulling him back. There's no coordination. They need to focus because there are still 3 Kirkmeyer, there's still 3 Cryogen, there's still 3 TFC, I believe. And if you want to win this race, you're going to have to be smart. Okay, so they're going to go through the uphill to the Italian villas to the reverse KOM. We'll catch back up to them. But right now, the front of the A's are just crossing the bridge, and you'll see the hash mark on the right, another red hash mark for the reverse KOM. Let's see if that group of 3 caught them. I think they're just out of reach, 10 seconds back, but they're working really well together. So I've given all these guys ride-ons, but I'm always looking to give out ride-ons because I just all about sharing the love from the game and enjoying talking about it. So here we go. Right now, Sanjath. Oh, and the 4th Kirkmeyer came in. I didn't even notice it was Sanjath. He was the guy who was about 5 seconds back, but he's the one with the sprint of 1,500 watts. That's right. 15 seconds for 1,500 watts is Mr. P. Sanjath. Okay, and there they go. They've technically started the KOM. It's going to take them 3 minutes. Let's see what happens. All of these guys are seasoned veteran riders. Gavin Dempster, 10, 11. Stefan is at 12. He's trying to chase him. And like I said earlier, Stefan's job is to cover all moves. It doesn't matter who you are. Your move will get covered by Stefan Kirkmeyer because he is looking out for his team, the namesake, his boys, Kirkmeyer Cycling. And there he goes. He brings it back down immediately. He knows exactly how to put out his watts to stay just on that wheel. Gavin Dempster is giving everything he has, but Stefan Kirkmeyer right on his wheel is a little demoralizing. Knowing he's not going to pass you, he's just going to stay on your wheel. And there goes Stefan. He's going to bring it down a lot. Here's Mergelas is with him. And they have a third, Naher. So this Kirkmeyer has 3. Casey Shum. There's Casey. He's perfect positioning, 5.0. That's all he needs to do. That was the hard part. The hard part is done. Now it's flat between 1 and 5% until this banner. Matt Johnson, his final wheel. Is he going to be able to catch on? Matt needs a big push right now to catch that wheel. Here's a little incline. Come on, Matt, go for it. I think he's going to just grab it. Okay, so Matt's back on. No one was dropped. Sanjath is hurting. I can feel him hurting right now. 187, 186 heart rate, 500 watts. Doing everything he can to stay on that wheel, but he's actually benefiting Matt Johnson, who he's pulling back to the pack. So all 11 of them are still there, still on the gas because it's still a little bit of an incline until this KOM banner. But nothing has really happened. We saw Gavin Dempster at the front try to make a move at 11 or 12, but Stefan Kirkmeyer just absolutely was there like a magnet. And now we still have 4 Kirkmeyer riders. We have 1 draft. We have 1 team experimental. We have 1 cryogen, ODZ, and I believe that's, and 1 3R. I believe that's the representation of this front pack in the A's. I saw a 191, 192 heart rate. Joker, wow, that is, he's hurting right now, but all these guys are hurting. Let's stick into the middle. I'm just clicking the top. They're almost at this KOM banner. If anyone's going to give one final push through the KOM banner, that might catch a couple guys off guard, but like I said, these riders are so seasoned veterans that they know exactly where all the moves are going to be made. If they've lasted this far, it's going to be tough to drop them at this point. Okay, so 10 of them right now. Before we catch the A's at the finish, let's check back to the B's. Okay, here are the B's. They haven't quite started this KOM. Let's stay on the B's. Every time we see the B's, we see this sharky dirt at the front for most of the race. I see the 3 Kirkmeyer riders at the front. I see 3 cryogens. You can see each team working together. And it looks like the A's on the left side just crossed the KOM banner. 342, 345. Alright, and here they go. This is the hardest point right here. You got to step on it right about now, because you'll see in the top right that incline start to go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11%. There they go. Worthington, Claire, Where's New Heights, all the names that we were looked out for in the B's. Okay, so here's Claire, Bowen from last week. Schmidt, all these guys, they know the points that they need to go, and New Heights is 3 seconds back. I don't know what's gonna go. Oh no, that might have been it. That move at the last Volcano KOM might have been the move, and there's a 3-second gap from the top 6 B's to the rest of the B's, and they see it. So so Worthington is on the front, hammering the pace because he sees the small gap, and he can see in his mini map in the top right the B's are getting just strung more and more out. Okay, so there's New Heights. He's still there. The 3 I'm looking out for are New Heights, Claire, and Worthington. According to Zwift Power, I'm just looking straight at Zwift Power, these are the top 3 B ranked riders in this event, in this team celebration series right now. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that it's gonna come down to 15 riders, because that was the steepest section. 15 riders are still here. Let's give McAllen a ride on. Dean from Cryogen. Still lots of Cryogen, lots of Kirkmeyer. I don't see any TFC riders. There were a ton of TFC at the starting line, but I don't see any left. No other threes besides Kirkmeyer and Cryogen. Okay, so that's going to be 15. Let's check back with them for the finish, but let's move forward to this front A pack. Okay, here's Barry. So instead of going left to the Ocean Boulevard finish line, they turn right and they're going to finish at this desert finish line. And the desert finish line is always after the sprint section. So it's really easy to tell where the desert finishes because the sprint will start, and from there you have 30 seconds to the finish line. So it's almost a perfect gauge to when you need to start sprinting, when you need to start leading everyone out. All right, so we are probably 2 to 3 miles, actually I'm gonna say 1 to 2 miles from the finish line. They'll finish at around 55 minutes, 56 minutes from right now. There are 11. The odds-on favorite, let's check Zwift Power. The odds-on favorite has to be, it's Philip Sanjath at 1,505 watts for 15 seconds. I mean, that's just obscene. Second is going to be Gavin Berry at 1,200 watts for 15 seconds, which is nothing to scoff at, 1,200 watts. After that, it goes a couple guys at 1,100, 1,000 watts, but the drop off from 1,500 to 1,200 to 1,000, I mean, that's 30% difference. So these are massive numbers. If Sanjat can get up to 15, even to 1,300 watts, he'll run away with this. And if they can do it strategically, it's going to be a sight to see, because Kirkmeyer has the numbers for a real lead out, and a real Zwift lead out is one of the most beautiful things to see, because you can't control positioning, horizontally. You can only control how much power you're putting out on the pedals. So if Kirkmeyer can sort of coordinate this lead out, they can really get Sanjat to slingshot up ahead, and it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful sight when it all comes together. Here's Matt Johnson. He's going to go early because he knows he has nothing compared to these 1,000+ watt guys. All right, Matt Johnson, but he's not going enough. He's not going hard enough. He's just going at 6, backing it off right now. Just trying to dig a little bit into these guys' legs. Gavin Berry, he's not one to get dropped right now. They're so close to the finish line. Everyone's on high alert for positioning. That's what's going to be the most important. You want to be towards the back so you can get the momentum, but you don't want to be in the back that you have a risk of being dropped. Let's look at the front. Mergelas is bringing it back down immediately in the 100 watts, 1.7. But there's Johnson again, the second move. So there he goes. But there's Stefan. Stefan doing what Stefan's doing. He's covering all the moves. He's clearly working selflessly as possible for his team. If there's a way to ride for your team, it's riding like Stefan Kirkmeyer, because he's covered every single move, whether it's been the Volcano, the reverse KOM, just a fake out right here. It's been Stefan. So there he goes again. Is Stefan? Nope, just covering moves. He's just accelerating just enough to catch everyone's wheel so the pack can stay intact. And it's absolutely perfect riding. Here's Porter. They're probably just about a mile from the finish line. It's going to be a minute to a minute and a half right now. Here's Stefan. Everyone's still thinking about positioning. They want to stay towards the front without risking getting dropped. Okay, it looks like Johnson's fallen off. Those 2 attacks for everything he's got. Joger, you're going to see these watts come down, but the heart rates are going to stay high. Let's find Sanjath and click on Sanjath, because he is going to be the watt king right here. All right, so here's Sanjath. Let's watch him. 300 watts. I want to see if we can get a sight of 1,500 watts. If you look at this top right, they're going to go around this right side of this circle. And then it's the finish line. Okay, so here's Sanjath. There's a little break, a 2-second gap, but that might be enough at this point for the race. 2 seconds to Casey Shum. There's 5 in this front group. On the front is Casey Shum at 7.0. Stefan's going to cover it immediately, but Stefan's not going to go because he wants Sanjath and he wants his 3 riders. But there are 3. There's Nair, there's Mergelas, and there's Kirkmeyer. Okay, and there they go. 30 seconds to the finish line right now. Here's Stefan on the wheel. He's backing it off. Here's Casey. He's just going. It's 30-second sprint. It's too long. It's too early. Even Gakes, it's too early. I don't like it. Here's Sanjot. There's the 16. There's the 4. There's the 1500 watts. I don't even think anyone's going to be able to catch him, even though he's all alone breaking the wind. 1500, 1300. I got nothing. It's Sanjat. Clearly, there's Stefan second. Gavin Berry. Yo! Looks like Gavin Berry just got third and Dempster fourth, but phenomenal ride. Let's see if we can stay in this race. I'm going to click back. Okay. So we stayed in this race. All right. So we saw Sanjay with just like those absolute monster watts. Okay. But let's look at this second pack. It looks like Gleam is going early, and that might be a good move because he's caught a couple guys off guard. But let's click back to the Bs. It's going to be tough to find these Bs right now, but we can do it. I might have to click back. Just bear with me for a few seconds. Okay, okay, I see some. Oh, I'm going to find these Bs. Just hang in there. I'm going to find these Bs. Okay, there's a B. Okay, there's New Heights. And it's showing he's in second place. Okay, so we've caught the front of the Bs. Okay, there's Claire. Claire's got the sprint. These guys are still about a mile out. Let's click the Bs. Let's check them on Zwift Power. Who's in this front pack? Okay, so Claire has the best sprint at 14.3. After Claire, it looks like Fisher from Kirkmaier can sprint at 13.5. And then after that is going to be Bowen from last week from this Flesh team. So if it's just a raw 15-second sprint, those are the guys to look out for. But it's a minute long. Everyone's going to go early. People are going to try to attack. Let's keep watching. There are 15 riders still in here. The names to look out for, like I said, Bowen, Claire, Worthington, New Heights, all these guys, and still all these Kirkmaier riders. So I want to see what's going to happen. You can look at the top right. You can see that little circle coming up. They're going to go around the right side of the circle, and then the finish is going to come. Let's see. This is super exciting. All right, we're watching the Bees finishing up the team celebration series. They went over the Volcano KOM. They went over the reverse KOM. There's 15 riders left. We're in the final stretch, the final mile. Someone's going to try to go early. Claire, Bowen, Worthington, those are the sprinters to look out for. There are 4 Kirkmaier riders. There are 3 Cryogen riders. It's a team race, your top 3 score. We're on the edge of our seats. Literally, I'm on the edge of my seat. Final stretch. I'm just clicking around. I want to get the right positioning. I want to get the right rider. I want to find Claire because I know he's the odds-on favorite. But we're always rooting for the underdog. We're rooting for everyone. Okay, Wood. I'm looking at these heart rates. Very high heart rates. No one has a chance to recover. 177. Everyone's at their maximum on the edge. 4.0, 4.2. That's basically FTP for these guys. And we're an hour into the race. So this is everything they have. Heart rates in the 170s, 180s. I see the teams lining up. What's going to happen? Where is the start line for this sprint section? Once the sprint starts, it's 30 seconds to the finish line. We're on the Bs. The A's finished. We saw the Kirkmaier cycling team just absolutely control this race from start to finish. Worthington is on the back, 500 watts. A little far back, but he's on it. Okay, and we can see the banner right there. So 30 seconds from right now to the finish line. Who's going to make a move? There's Wood with the first red number, but it's still early. No one's going with him, though. There's Wood. There's Claire. Claire's going with him. Claire's perfect right here. There's a big gap, though. There's Claire at 11.6. Is anyone going to be able to follow him? I don't think so, but it's still Wood a second out. But Claire, who we were talking about earlier, at 13.8. Claire is going to take this. There comes Schmidt. No, but it's Claire and Schmidt and Fisher and Grunbeiter. So it was Cryogen 1, and then I think 2, 3, 4 was Kirkmaier, which was, I mean, 2, 3, 4 for the same team. Absolutely phenomenal to see. What a race. I will be back next week for the next race 4 of the Team Celebration Series. Same time, same place. Come join me. Thanks for hanging out. Take care. See you guys.